Okay, here we go. We're going to be going over today the 1967 Airstream Globetrotter. Going to be going over the teardown. Here we go. We're going to go over the teardown for the 1967 Airstream Globetrotter. I'm going to show you a slideshow of all the pictures of everything that was done. That way you can get an idea of basically what we went through in doing this big project. We're going to start right now with the first photo. This one here is where we first brought it home. You can see the little white door sitting on the ground there. It's not even really a door. It's just a piece of metal that covered up the back of the trailer. Where you see I've got my hand in this little compartment here. It was just loaded with garbage. This is where all the plumbing was that leaked like crazy. This is where the electric line is. This is all right behind the bathroom. And of all things, they put this electric box in there where all this moisture and everything is. We're getting rid of all that, getting rid of all this piping that you see here, removing everything, putting all brand new in. Hopefully we won't have any more leaks. Now to the inside of the trailer, you're looking towards the front. Across the front is that couch up there. Over here on the left is the other couch. We took the cushions off of it. You can see all the water damage all over the carpet. Carpet was supposed to be some, I don't even know what you want to call it, some green kind of looking thing. You can see some water damage on the wood. You can see the outside of the trailer where the light's coming through. That's the battery box. The batteries were sitting underneath. You can see right on the front of there by that little door. It's just water damage everywhere. Then we removed that whole frame out. You see all the dirt and grime and everything in there, the tiles on the floor. The trailer was sitting for a very, very long time. This is where the doorway is. You can see the tiles missing by the door, just rotted the whole bottom completely out of it. And you can see here where we've got all this just trash and garbage. This minus the tools, of course. That was all there when we got it. Look in the back. You can see all the way into the bathroom. The bathroom's all the way in the back side. You can see where the tiles are coming up there. You can still see water damage here in the front. This is the water tank. This was underneath the front couch. Water, we're not even really sure where the water came from, but it was all under the carpet. This is the water pump. For those of you that have newer trailers, this is a belt-driven pump, so you're not going to see that in anything that you got today. This is here. You can see the pipe that goes through this wall, and the like brownish color standing up there. That's the heater. That pipe goes outside. That's the vent for the heater. Heater's really narrow. The crazy thing is when we tore this apart, right behind the heater and that wheel well, we found this picture. Now, we talked to the previous owner. They have no idea who this is. So, obviously, it was probably from the original owner. We're going to try to figure out who this is. It was wrapped up and protected. We don't know. Anyway, this is the kitchen area. This is where the stove was. You can see the gas line coming up through the back side there. We pulled it out. It's some kind of weird yellowish thing. But anyway, It's a 4-burner stove with an oven. Probably still works, to be honest with you. We're going to keep it. And this here is the cabinet above the kitchen. You can see this green little lamp thing right there off to the left. That's actually a propane burning lamp. Yeah, interesting. This is where we have it in a barn, where we use the trusses to be able to remove the air conditioning unit that you see there. Very, very heavy. This is where we pulled out. We just threw the stuff out of the back of the trailer. Insulation, wiring, stuff like that, that all came out through the back side. Now here, this is the kitchen area. You can see the piping here in the middle of the screen. You can see the chimney right off to the left. That's where the exhaust went up for the refrigerator. And then here, you have the hot water heater where the screwdriver is. This is where all the plumbing was that just leaked. It's drain pipe, vent pipe. You can see a little box down at the bottom. That converts 110 to 12 volt for the lighting. That was just sitting in rotted plywood. Here's where we had to take another picture of all the vent pipes. You know, this is all behind the wall. You don't get to see any of this. Very intricate looking setup here. Where this red wire is that loops across there at the elbow, they had all this like pipe dope and stuff in there, I guess trying to keep the water in. Didn't work. Rotted all this floor underneath the box here. You can see where the pipes come down into the tank. They were actually broke off at the bottom. Now you can see just to the left of that red wire down on the floor, just the flakes and flakes of plywood. I mean, you could literally put your finger through it. So water by electric isn't good. This is the hot water heater. This is the outside of the trailer on the curb side or passenger side. We had to take out all these screws that went all the way around, the screws and rivets. Then we started to pull it out. This hot water heater comes straight out through the side. And once we get that removed, now you have your hole in the side. You can get to all your piping. We noticed that the hot water heater was holding up most of the piping, so we cut all that out. This is the piping here. You can see the little donut there. That's where the little toilet was, and this piping comes around to the right. That went to the tub and the shower. This here, well, it's where I'm cutting some wire, but you get to see my good side there. It looks like I'm working. Don't be fooled. And then we have another one, which is, I'm actually doing something here. I'm actually taking the rivets out of their aluminum channels that run from the top to the bottom that hold the wall segments in. Here's where we have most of the stuff cleaned up off of the floor to move on to the next part of our little project. Before we get to the next part, I want to show you there's this little black tube that goes up through the roof right at the bottom of that. That is the back side of the tub and the shower. This is the wall, and you can see these little metal rails that come up. They have a groove right in the center of them. That's where the wall pieces come in and are attached to the side of the trailer. This is the ceiling part leading into the bathroom area. And you can see where we started labeling some of these rails, because when we take them down, we need to know exactly where they go. You can see the vent here at the top. That's the bathroom light. All that's going to be removed once we get to the inside, when we start redoing it. This is the front window. You can see the water pump off to the left. This is where we've taken our first panel down. That black stuff you see is adhesive for the insulation. You see where we're starting to remove this panel on the right here. These panels hold approximately anywhere between 20 to 40 rivets. They all had to be drilled out. This is facing the back side of the trailer. You can see where we've taken the panel off under that window. Now you can see we're going back to the front of the trailer. Off to the right, you can see the doorway opening all the way to the right. We've removed the panels all the way across the bottom there. And then here, this is the wall where the heater was. You can still see the pipe coming in. You can see the aluminum channels that run up the wall to show you where the closet was. Here is on the road side or driver's side. This is where we've removed that bottom panel. You can see where the mice have chewed through the insulation there. And a little bit there too. That's in the back side where the hot water heater was. You can see how we got all the piping out of there. So I'm going to have to refer back to pictures to be able to get it all back. You'll see this little oval up here at the top with a little darkness on the ceiling there. That is the chimney for the refrigerator. Now the refrigerator runs off electric and propane. When it's burning propane, it needs to exhaust out the top. You'll see these two square doors. That is the access to the back of the refrigerator from the outside of the trailer. This is the kitchen area here, where you can see the wheel well at the bottom, where we've taken that skin off so we can get to the bottom channel. There's a bottom C channel that runs all the way across. This is where the heater was, where the tube went through the wall. You can see where we've got all the wires curled up. We're going to be replacing all of those wires. They're aluminum. They're just no good. We're going to replace them with modern wiring. And then, of course, the rest, you know, when you're looking at the silver from the inside, that is basically your outside skin. That's your insulation gone. That's all the rivets. We've made sure that we didn't have any remainder of rivets sticking in there. So it's a nice clean surface. This way, by removing those bottom panels, it gets us to the C channel that's at the bottom. We're going to show you a little bit more about the C channel when we get into our next video, which is actually going to be taking the whole shell and lifting that off of the frame, suspending the shell, and pulling out the frame and floor all in one piece. But until then, subscribe, check out our Facebook page, YouTube, subscribe, leave a message. Hopefully this will help you out a little bit for those of you that are looking to do something like this. This is why we're doing this in steps. For those of you that have no idea what any of this is because you're really not even interested, well, appreciate you watching. But until then, my name's Dave with Camping with the Boscos, and we will see you on the next video.